Coming straight out of Ecamm. This is a jam of the Ecamm fam. Ecamm fam is the name of the jam. This is a jam of the Ecamm fam. Ecamm fam is the name of the jam. This is a jam of the Ecamm fam. It's a jam for the Ecamm fam. This is a jam for the Ecamm fam. Ecamm fam is the name of the jam.
Hold it, stop the music!
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen. Can I please have your attention?
Now showtime, are you ready? Are you ready for start time?
Let's find out. Ready, let's go.
Aloha Ecamm fam entrepreneurs. Are you tired of trying to find exciting ways to sell your products? Are you looking to reach an even bigger audience? Well, it's time to leap into the future of selling with Ecamm Live's Leap into Live Selling virtual conference. Live selling is the hottest trend in commerce right now. We're bringing you the brightest minds in the industry to help you master the art of live selling. You'll learn to create compelling content, engage with your audience, and best yet, convert viewers into customers. Our lineup of experts will have you on the edge of your seat. We've got live selling gurus like Stephanie Garcia, Rocky Nash, the Dealcasters, and more who will teach you how to make your brand stand out from the crowd. Don't have a lot of experience? Don't worry. We got Miss Jackie Gonzalez coming to show you how to shine as a live selling host. But wait, there's more. We got our very own Ana Fulgens with the daily wrap up with prizes and surprises that'll make this conference an unforgettable experience. Plus, you'll get a chance to network with other family members and learn from their experiences and successes. So don't wait. Join us at Leap into Live Selling and take your business to the next level. We promise it'll be the most fun you've ever had at a conference. Sign up now at leapintolive.com. That's leapintolive.com. Aloha, peoples. What's crackalackin'? Welcome to the showgram. Let me add you folks to the bottom down here. All right, we're going to get in. We're going to start talking a little about Ecamm situation real quick. Let me put on my live demo mode. Boom. At this point in time, you see a single window. We're starting out like this nowadays so that the people that are new don't look at all of the windows and freak out and think the program is hard, because in reality, a chimpanzee could run Ecamm. It's super simple. Most people just set their brains up to think it's hard. It's not hard at all. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the comments so I can see you guys. So right here in the main window, down in the center, there's a little thing that looks like a talk bubble, right there. If I press that, it says show and hide comments and reactions, right? So let me put that on so I can see you guys. Boom. Now you guys are all in there. What's happening? Lester is back. Welcome, Lester. And then we're going to start out by opening up our scenes window. And we're going to remember the way we think about this is that Ecamm has profiles, right? So we're going to use our profiles as basically our houses, right? These are shows that I do, and we're going to think of these as houses. Right now, we're in the Ecamm Demo house. Inside the Ecamm Demo house, we have a series of rooms. Right now, we have 4 rooms, right? The intro you just watched, the promo you just watched, the scene you're watching right now, which is me, and then another scene to, So if I'm here, I want to create a brand new scene, right? AKA add a brand new room. So I'm going to hit this plus sign down here. On the bottom, you'll see new empty scene. You'll see duplicate the current scene. You'll see a new group, and then you'll see a new automatic group. Now, before I create that new scene, I want to show you a couple of things. Here in the center, at the very top, you'll always see camera, screen share, or film, aka video file. If you click here, you can play any one of the videos like the video that I just played, right?
Aloha, Ecamm fam entrepreneurs. Are you trying to...
I could come back here and go to camera. I could press this and show a screen share, which this right now is staring at Discord. Okay? Me personally, you're going to do you. If you want to not get lost, don't touch these ever again. I straight up don't, I haven't used them since it came out. Like, I really, really just don't use them, and I'll explain why. Yeah, it's a simple explanation, but I'll explain why. And before we do that too, I have to do one other thing I want to show you is I'm going to open up preferences real quick, which is Command comma. If you're wondering what keys I'm pressing, see these little things pop up on the screen over here? That's what I'm pressing. So I'm pressing Command comma to get to preferences. On the video tab, we're going to ignore all the rest of these. On the video tab, right there, it says default source mode. I'm setting my default source mode as blank. The other options are camera or screen share. I'm setting mine as blank. And the reason why I'm setting mine as blank is so that I never, ever have to see this camera mode ever again. So I go like that, right? That means that whenever I set this up, I'm always going to come to a blank screen. Now, I have a background overlay turned on. Yours is going to look like this. I have a background overlay turned on. I also have a widget overlay because I need to know what time it is, right? So I'll turn that off. So in reality, when you start a new scene, it's going to look exactly like this if you're following the home version. Always start with blank. I don't say there's a lot of rules inside of Ecamm, and more than likely, a lot of other people won't tell you that, but let's see. I stream 6-7 days a week, multiple hours a day, and I will tell you, starting with blank is the absolute best way. If you're hard-headed, you do you, okay? So we're going to leave it at start with blank, and then I like to have an overlay. That is the background overlay. So in this overlays window, right here, I want you to think of this as a furniture store, okay? So the type of furniture that we have in this store is a new image, a new animated image, a new screen share, some text, some various types of clocks, a widget, like the widget I had that displayed the time, and a camera overlay. You also have folders to keep these things nice. I think of these folders as like area rugs, you know. It helps group things together. So if I'm creating a brand new scene and starting out here with absolute blank, one of the first things I'm going to want to do is go and get myself a nice, soothing area rug. Okay? So these are my Ecamm Live assets. And let's just say today I'm feeling kind of dark blue. I could just drag that in and pop it. And now I have a background. If I'm feeling a little rainbow flecks, I can do that. If I'm feeling a little orange, I can do that. Whichever one of these that sits on top is the background that will show up every time you create a new scene. I could even go as far as to stick in this subsequent movie film and have a motion animated background. People like them. I don't. I think it's obnoxious, but you do you. Whatever pops your socks. Let's get rid of that. But just want to show you that anything can be a background. Okay, so now that I have this background, I'm going to want to add a camera so it doesn't look like I'm talking to myself. Right down here again in the bottom, in my overlay furniture shopping, I have a camera, right? So I'm going to pop that in. Now, I have options. I could, if I want my scene to look like I had it before, just zoom this camera back up to full screen, and it's fine, right? I could also use a little bit of float so you can see the background and make it look prettier, right? Again, this is your call, it's your show. You do whatever you want, right? So I'm going to leave it like this here. And then I also like to give it a little savoir-faire. So I'm going to press on the edit button, which is right here. There's a little pencil. You can also edit it at this gear mark over here, right? I'm going to use the pencil. And I'm going to just say I want to add a tiny little bit of corner radius. It has numbers in there. My number is 28. And then I'm going to add a little border. And my number is 8. So now that's what my thing looks like. All right. Let me move these out of the way so it's less confusing. And then I'll turn this preferences off. So you see that in this particular scene, aka in this room, which I'm going to call host, which it is already named, aptly named, right? I have the background, my rug, and then I have the camera, the main piece of furniture in this room. I don't need anything else with the exception of I like this clock, so I'm going to turn this widget back on and then make sure the camera, now when you see the camera is covering the widget, you can't see the widget. So you got to just drag the camera underneath the widget. And then now it's there. The widget has to be on top. Okay. Now I'm going to make a new room. And wait, before I make a new room, I want to show you something. Let's just say in supposition, because some of you are going to mess this up, let's put this brightly colored one right underneath the camera. Okay. It states right there, show in current scene. In nice big bold letters, show in current scene. This says show in the background, right? Sochte, moskashtada, if I press this button, I'm going to get back to my standard purple rug because, naze nareba, on this one, I have the rainbow overlay in the show in current scene. Moshi, if I pick up this and drag it down here back to show in background, and I dip over to the next scene, that's what takes over. So if you're doing, oh, I was doing my thing in the wrong background, I couldn't find, check which one you have in your hierarchy. All right, so let's leave it back to this. We're going to, matter of fact, let's 86 the rest of these background because I'm not explaining that no more. All right, so I just deleted them. Right. Okay, if you deleted them, you're like, oh my God, that's a mistake. Just hit Command Z and they're all back, right? But I can delete them again because I not need that. And we don't do that. All right, so let's go here on the new scene and we're going to call this host plus guest. Ayata. Blood clot. Stop that. All right, now I'm going to add new camera. That's this camera. This is I. Let me show you some things you can do with this camera. First, I'm going to unembiggen it a little bit. And then if I press on here, you'll see I have the ability to adjust the shape. In this particular case, I'm going to go with squircle, right? Because that's the shape that I like, squircle. And then I'm going to leave my transition at none. I was really excited when we first got transitions. I am less excited about it now because every time you dip into the scene, things transitioning, it starts to get old real quick. So I just wanted to warn you. I know people be like, oh, I really love to have these cool animations and blah, blah, blah. It's good the first time you go there. Every time you switch to that scene, if you switch scenes a lot, it's going to look obnoxious. So just be careful. Use these things sparingly. Just like in an edit, you can always tell rookie editors because they try to use every transition in Final Cut, where the rest of us either cut hard or just do a slow cross these off, and we pretty much don't use much else. All right, let's go. So I got this camera here, and now I want to add a second camera, which is going to be my guest. I can press the camera button again, and then go through all of the rigmaroles of trying to get this guy to match up with that guy, or I can highlight this one, go to my edit menu like a troll and press copy, and then go back to my edit menu like a troll and press paste. And now I have two copies. Or I can highlight this one and do Command C, copy, Command V, paste like a human, because you can Command V paste all day long. You can Command V paste because this is a Mac, and Command V is pasted Mac in every application in the entire computer. Or you could just hold the Option key with your finger and drag it across like every other Mac application in the planet. All Mac applications. If you're in Word and you highlight a paragraph and hold the Option key and drag down, you'll make a copy of that paragraph. It's just how it works. It's always worked that way. It's been that way forever, right? In pretty much every program in the planet, if you hold down the Option key and drag something, it will make a copy. In Keynote, if you got a shape, you Option drag, it'll make another copy of that shape. In Keynote, if you have a title, Option drag, it'll make another copy. In Canva, if you're typing something or putting an element and you Option drag, it'll make a copy. Why? Because that's always been the case, right? So people are like, oh, I don't know all of the keyboard shortcuts for Ecamm. They're the same keyboard shortcuts for pretty much every Mac application in the planet, except for the things that are very specific to Ecamm. For standard issue behaviors, you can just duplicate. Okay, so now I'm going to click on this pencil and go down to guest one. All right, so now I have myself and I have my guests, right? Now we're in there like swimwear. So let me turn this off, right? So as you see now, in this particular room, I have a rug, 2 cameras, right? Now what I'm going to do is come down to the bottom. Started from the bottom, now we're here. And I'm going to press this plus sign next to the T, which is to generate a new text overlay. All right, boom. In my text overlay, it's a little bit fancy because I've been here before. It's not my first rodeo. You have the ability to turn on and off the background. You have the ability to add your corner radii. I noticed that mine is still set at 28. You have the ability to add some margin. Margin just basically says how much space between your text and the edge, right? That's what margin means in real life. So, I mean, I guess it means the same here. And the border, this is my text border. I can make it fat. I can make it skinny, right? I'm going to put it back where I had it, like that there. And then we're going to type some text. Notice this. It says right here on the bottom, and so yet people ask, how do I make a new line like it's literally written in the interface. To add a new line, hold down the Shift key while pressing the return key. New line. You should learn how to spell, but that's okay. I'll fix it. All right. Bam. And don't do that. Okay, so I want you to see, if I highlight this here, I'm going to take this particular thing and I'm going to go ultra light because I like it like that. I'm going to take this one right here and go bold, right? I'm going to set this at 48 and leave this at 36. And I'm going to call that my text. Notice in the position, you can fly them in, up, down, left, right, or have it automatically figure out. You could also turn it into a scrolling ticker, which I do not wish to do. You can center justify, right justify, or left justify. All right, so those are your options, okay? Look, you could even go as far as the slap in the old emoji because, you know, Hawaii, right? So once you hit that, oh, also, this effect shadow you can have on or off. I leave it off. I mean, not like that. And if I wanted to change the color of any of these words or all of these words, you can highlight it, press that. It brings up the old crowns. I never use the crayon interface. I use this. And you could change it to any particular color that you want it to give it a little sauce, right? So now it's slightly lightly blue. It's to give it just a little je ne sais, like that, right? All right, so you can have all of those. Let me do one more just to make it cute. And then bam, there's my setup, right? So I'm gonna close these crowns out the way. Actually, I'll leave them there. Just move it a little bit so I can hit the add button because they go away. And there is my box. As you can see, it is hyper obnoxious to the size of what we're doing. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring it down to about right there, 3/4, about right there. And then I'm going to grab the edge. Notice the arrow change. Why? Grab the edge and pull it out. Why did I make that like that? Because whoever my guest is, their name might be Long. You know what I'm saying? And then if you do a little rubbing like such, you can get, I'm going to go slightly up. You can get the center line to let you know that you're even Steven. All right. So we're all there. You know what I'm saying? So we're all there. That is nowhere, I don't know where you got pink from. That is nowhere near pink. That is magenta, right? If you were to click on this guy and let's see, let's come down here to the bottom. And if I were to click on this guy and highlight this, right, and pop it in here, right, I'm going to say that that's not pink. That is a form of magenta. It's a lighter magenta. Pink is a very specific color. Anyway, I'm going to go cancel that before we muck everything up. Oh, now we're going with light raspberry. No, that's not it either. Light raspberry. No, that's not it. It's magenta. Okay. Mira mi gente. All right, so let's click this. And then I'm going to hold down, remember the thing, hold down the option key. You can tell because this little box right here tells you I'm holding the option key. And I'm going to drag this over here like such. And now I have a duplicate. Okay, so we're going to double click on this. I hate the fact that I have to type it like that. Boom. There you go. So that will be my guest setup. Blood. Allergies. My asthma is going crazy today. Boom. All right, so now you got your guests. You're in there like swimwear. Let's go ahead and make another room. We're going to add this. And then what we're going to do, actually, prior to doing that, let's come back. Let's go back. Go here. I'm going to show you, throw these bad boys in folders. It will make your life easier. It will make your life easier. All right, so in this guest folder, I want to grab the guest one camera, stick it there, and I'm going to grab the guest one text over top of the camera, otherwise it goes behind the camera, and then I'm going to link that bad boy and call it a day. Right? In here, I'm going to throw that in, throw the camera in, hit the link, and do that. Now, why? Now, I also need to take and make sure that I put this comment on the top, otherwise the comment will come in underneath everything. All right, so now that they're linked together, that means that when I step out, I can move this, not do that. I can move this as a collection, right? Because they're in the setup of folders over there. All right, boom. Let me do this real quick. Just so that Paul doesn't yell at you, Jasmine, because Paul's evil. He's a stickler. So are you going to show how to get your, are you going to show how to get your keys to show on screen? That has nothing to do with Ecamm, but it is called Keystroke Pro. I absolutely love this application. It is super cool, right? So this is Keystroke Pro. I want to say it was $7-8. I don't even remember, but you can just basically come in here, pick your style that you want, so it shows what your letters look like. I use the Skeuomorphic Slim, and then I put extra large because Glenda says she's blind, and then I put, how you want it to show up, and then how long you want it to display, and you just select your key colors over here. You could even make them semi-transparent if you want, so they don't obnoxiate your screen. And then I can decide which display I want them. So in this machine right here, I want it right here on the side. I could stick it on the bottom and then, hit a key. I can stick it on the side over here and hit a key, or up there. And then I have it set to only show modifier keys. Otherwise, you guys would have to see every single thing I type, which would get really stupid. So I just literally have it set to show, and you can hide it. If you get irritated with it, you can hold Shift Control Option Command K to make it never come back again. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I absolutely love this app, and it's fun. So I put it there because people keep asking, what is the shortcut key? And I'm like, the shortcut key for every app, if you look at the menu, is legit written right here. So one of the first things I do whenever I get an app is I go and study them shortcut keys, because it will make your life much quicker than hunting menus. I don't know where most of the things is in the menu in Final Cut, but I know the shortcut key. If I had to go find it in the menu, I'd probably fail the test, and I'm a certified instructor. So yeah, it's kind of funny about that. Boom. Appreciate you. Okay, Paul, now you can ask nicely that they put the Q in front of the question, okay? Don't be Paul. You guys, Paul hasn't committed to it next week, but I'm going to be flying, so Paul's going to have to do the demo next week, but he's trying to avoid having to do it by not answering me in Slack. So everybody tell Paul that he's doing the demo next week, and it's okay. This is called Welcome to This Week and Throw Your Friend Under the Bus, hosted by Doc Rock. Let me press this next button here. So I'm going to make a new scene now that I did that. Again, if you press here on the bottom, there's duplicate the current scene. All right, so now we want to set up the browser so I can show you guys the next move. So on this particular scene, I don't need the guest set up, so I can delete it. And then I'm going to take off the title because I don't need that. And then, right, Gretchen? Right? All right. I'm going to actually change this to telephone size. Boing! And put it about like such. Yo, Hank, what it do? Yes, Hank is here somewhere working on his internet. What's up, E-Boogie? We're going to now press on in the center section here. We're going to press on, what is this thing called? Screen share, right there in the middle. New screen share overlay. I just want to show you that in these guys right here, image overlay and animated image overlay, you could press the button and the button will bring up a little thing that looks like this, and then you can select on the graphic that you want and, apply that, right? I never do that. I just drag and drop, right? Pressing those buttons is useless to me. So I'm going to press on this new screen share overlay, and then I'm going to go ahead and place this up here, right? And then grab the edge and then biggin it accordingly. I'm going to take this guy and mock it all the way to the side and then biggin it about X amount, and we're going to call this a day. Okay. Now, right now, you're not screen sharing nothing. You can't see anything. This is borderline useless. Let's get in there and show you what you want to show you. Let's pop up Keynote. See, I told you I use keystrokes for everything, including launching applications. I don't even use my dock. I never roll down to the bottom and click on that dock. It's a waste of energy. All right. So here's my Keynote, and I'm going to start up here at the top. Aye! Blood clot. Go back. Man, I need to turn on my clicker for my scroll wheel because I get to scrolling quickly and it just causes all kind of drama. So I want you to pay attention. Inside Keynote, I'm not in Ecamm right now. If I go up to the top, under the play window, it tells you you can play full screen or you can play in the window. You want to absolutely press play in the window, okay? Because in Ecamm, we can screen share any window that an app can see. So for instance, if I go over here, come down to Keynote, you're going to see this. But I don't want you to see this. I want you to see the presentation. So if I press play, my presentation pops up into this window here. And as you see, it's a little obnoxious and it doesn't stay nice. And even if I drag it to the third monitor, it's there, right? But watch this. I can click on Keynote here. And now because I have multiple windows in Keynote, I can select the actual presentation. Booyaka. Oh yeah, step back. Step back. So now this presentation is here. It is the right size. I can move it off to another monitor. I can leave it here. I will take my presenter notes, right? If you didn't want to see your presenter notes, you can go and hide those or set them up, whatever. You never even have to show them if you don't wish, because they're not going to be seen to the general population. They're going to be hidden, right? But I can control my entire presentation from my presenter notes, right? And the audience is only ever going to see this. It's 50 billion nowadays, by the way, just so you know. Anyway, so I can just show my presentation like this, right? I don't have to do anything crazy or anything tragic. And this can just be somewhere else. So if I stuck this on my third monitor over here, I can make that be like the projector. So that's being seen on the projector. Me on my computer, all I'm going to do is see my presenter notes, and all the public is going to see is what's coming out on the projector. All right. So I just want to show you that it works exactly the same way in that other application made by Gil Bates, but whatever. Just put them in the window. Now, so that's my Keynote situation. I can use my arrow keys to change slides. I can use a remote. I have a Logitech in here, like such. What is this? It's a Logitech R800. If I plug in your Logitech R800, it will do exactly that. Oh, you got to turn it on. Woohoo. Look, you can even do this with your Logitech. Woo. Woo. Stop playing around, Doc. Anyway, yes, Gil Bates is related to Norman. All right, so let me show you some other stuff that you can do in screen share. Let's say in supposition, I was trying to teach you guys about another app, right? So we're going to 86 Keynote because we're over it. We're over it. When you do that, this defaults back to entire screen or primary display, or I can show you what's on the secondary display, or I can show you what's on the third display where there was like a whole Ecamm thing. Or I can come here and say Juggly Chrome. Bam. There's Google Chrome. There's the old Ecamm situation. All right. So let's just say I want to show how to work an app, right? Say I got a new app and I want to explain it to you. I can come here, open any app. It doesn't have to be just Keynote. So let's open up Camo Studio in honor of Eden. And you'll see right now that Camo Studio is showing my overhead camera. Why it's flickering, I don't know. But right now it's showing my overhead camera because I don't have my camo on my phone turned on. Where is my phone? In my pocket. That's why. If I were to open up my camo on my phone here, press that, it's going to open. And then I see. I haven't opened it on my phone since the update. On my other phone I have, because I don't use it on this phone. Anyway, so just go ahead and get started. So there's my Camo Studio, right? If I wanted to add a device, I could just scan this old QR code here with my phone, and then it'll work. It would just absolutely work. It's cool how it is, right? You can plug in the cable if you wish. I'm not. So I'm just scanning that app with my phone. But let me show you what I mean. I can click over here, press on this pencil, and then come down here and select Camo Studio. So now you can see everything inside of Camo Studio, and I can show you how to use Camo Studio with, using Ecamm. I can highlight certain things, come over here. I can even crop into a section. So what do I mean by that? Let's just say in supposition, I only wanted to explain to you how to use the image enhancements. I can hold the Option key, crop it in here like this, pop this in the middle, embiggen it ad nauseum, right? And then I can explain to you how to use the various things in here. Like I want to show you that you can hide the back or blur the background, or you can replace, like a green screen type situation, which is really creepy. Or, you could do that. I can spotlight things. So anyway, you can use this to highlight all myriad sorts of things, and it's cool. It's a vibe. It's a whole vibe, right? So let me put this back in the browser because that's normally where I put it, and that's exactly what I named this scene. Now, another thing I want to show you while we're over here is in my browser setup, beat it. In my browser setup, I could even rip this tab out, right? It's going to try to show me both tabs. One of those tabs is you guys. One of those tabs is Jill. I could click on here and specify which tab I'm watching. So that way the other one disappears. So you can have your notes or whatever in there. You know what I'm saying? And not even be bothered with what's in the other browser. But let's take it one step further. I'm going to double this scene, right? And I'm going to call this one Ecamm. And then I'm going to go back to the other one, the browser scene, and change this to the other tab. So I can show two different things inside of here, right? Right, so if I go here, look, there's Eden on the front page, but I could totally be showing off this site. Man, stop doing that. I could be showing off this site, and then I can switch over here, and I'm showing this site because I have it going to two different things. Dragon, let me help you real quick. Continuity camera sucks. Sorry, brother. It's not ready yet. It's not ready yet. And most of it has to do, and I won't blame it completely on continuity camera. I'll blame it on the fact that your network has to be borderline flawless in order for it to work the way you want it to work. If your network is in borderline flawless, it is going to have some drama. Right? It just is what it is. So I highly suggest stick to Camo. It's a whole different vibe. You have way more control. It's not as buggy. It's not as a pain in the butt when the camera goes to sleep. Apple built it so that it functions, but it functions in a very mogul-like thing. It doesn't know how to fix itself. So until they got more, now here's the thing. Continuity camera has been rolling since November. Camo has been out for 5 or 6 years. They've been working at this for quite a while. Continuity camera is trying to Sherlock Camo, Shoot, Ecamm, so forth, so on, etc. So as unique and cool as continuity camera is, on a scale of 1 to hot trash, I put it on hot recycled trash. Not quite as gross, but it's not really well baked. I stopped using it. I went back to Camo. Besides, if I keep using Camo, then Eden keeps having a job, and Eden's my friend. So there's that. Am I biased as to which camera app? Absolutely. The other one, Shoot is dope. Epoch camera, I can't stand it. I really don't like Epoch Camera. People in the community like it, but I don't like their interface. I don't like how buggy it is. It eats up a lot of memory, and I'm just not a fan of it. Shoot is great. It's fantastic. But yeah, if I had to give somebody an option, I would say either get Shoot or get Epoch Cam. And JG in the building. What it do, beef stew? Recycled trash. There it is. Guys, hold that thought. I don't know why today, for some reason, the pollen is pollinating and is affecting my asthma and is driving me crazy. Hold on. I swear that's real and not CBD or anything. All right, so let's get back over here. So here's my browser situation. I have this particular tab showing the Ecamm. This tab is showing, camo situation. Now, I do want to tell you, there is one tiny little caveat. When you do screen shares like this, you don't really have the option of zooming in to anything on the browser tab. If I were to come down here and create a brand new scene, right? I didn't mean to do that. If I came and made a brand new scene like this with just the background, and I selected this browser share and selected this application to go to Google Chrome and this camo, I can turn off this picture-in-picture if I don't wish to have it. Now I could zoom in by using the scroll wheel and be eating, you're making funny look face over there, right? Or I can come down here and like, I want to show you that, you can pull off small lower thirds or whatever in camo. I can zoom into that. To do that, you have to use the standard built-in up here at the top screen share. Okay? I just want to make sure that I point that out. There is a difference. Okay? This is tabs right here. You can tab yourself silly. You can be Diana Gladney and have 40-something tabs. I don't traditionally do that. I tend to put the different sites I want. If I'm going to break down several sites, I'll actually rip out 3 different windows and put each site in its own window. And because I know my brain will sidetrack, and while I'm talking about this, I'll go on to something else. And yeah, I can always get back to where I was faster than trying to find the tab. So me personally, I use multiple instances of Chrome, but you got to do you. Okay, so we got our host situation. We got our guest situation. We have our browser situation here. I could even come as far as to take this browser and select this as a different person talking, right? So that way I can have, one person talking about a particular site, another person talking about another site, or again, this doesn't have to be a browser. This can be anything that Ecamm can see. You would be able to show that off in here, right? So if I were to open up, any program I want, I could teach people how to use one of my favorite editing programs. We're going to skip this version, and I'm going to put this over here. I can click on the browser and then go to my Luminar Neo tab, and then can just legit just show, oi, God, you did not do that. Okay. Why you do that? Sorry, I clicked on the browser and it went full screen on my additional monitor, and that's not a good look. There you go. So I could easily come here and show you any application I want. Now, one other thing to bring out, this is super important, and I hope this makes sense to you guys. If you use Expose, right, like this, in order to try to use desktop 2 or desktop 3, it doesn't work. You can only screen share things that your monitors can physically see. So if I were to open this program on Expose and put it in the back, you can't screen share that. The pixels have to be visual. So the pixels have to be seen on the actual screen for all of you guys that insist on trying to do tutorial-based live streams with a single monitor, it's not going to work. You want to have that real estate, you kind of need an additional monitor. So I suggest you plug in your iPad or go get you like $150 FHD full high definition 1920 by 1080, Asus monitor and plug it in. Like, it would just make your life much easier. Trying to do this off of one monitor is a pain in the buttocks. It is. Okay. All right, so we covered that screen share situation. Let's get over here and let's go back to this new scene. I'm going to put this back to blank. And Jefferson, you're going to have to run this back and watch the beginning part where I explain why I don't press these buttons up here unless the earth is on fire. Like, I just don't use these at all. I do everything using camera overlays and whatnot. Okay, so let's go. Now we covered how to do that. We want to get into some more stuff over here with these clock situations. So let's go and we're going to put this scene here. Let's say we're trying to do some type of contest. I'm going to grab a camera, right? Just pop it up here. And let's say we're going to do trivia time, right? So press this guy, 86 the background. Let's be cute. Let's make it cute. If we're going to do this, we might as well make it cute. Right? Let's go trivia time. And then let's make this bold. Boom. It's trivia time. All right, so we're going to throw that up there. And then we're going to come real quick. And then I'm going to use my countdown timer. I'm going to set these for like 1 minute, right? I'm not going to use auto start. I'm not going to use go to another scene. But I just want you to know you can auto start. You can go to another scene when finished. In this particular case, I'm not. But actually, maybe, you know what? We will do go to another scene when finished. I'm going to leave this here, and I'm going to put this big old clock right there. Okay, let me duplicate this scene. And then I can go and add the answer. So let me grab an answer. Go to here. And then boom, boom, boom. I'm trying to think. All right, let me just say, man, I had to, here it is. I found it. So this is going to be my answer scene, right? So there's this one, there's this one. So I can put answer. Why it decided to poof a picture-in-picture, I don't know. Right? And I'm going back to here. And then my question will be, wow, really? I didn't know it was only one T. Ha! All right, so I can press that. There's my question. And then I'm going to have my clock. And so if I were doing this show and then I pop down here and be like, I'm going to hit the clock. Everybody, what is the mascot of Richmond AFC? Go ahead and put in your answers. And then I would just pop down. But I'm going to let this run because if I remember correctly, I set it to go to the next scene automatically. So that way I could be doing something else with my hands, like getting the tissue to wipe my nose. Don't do that part on camera. Okay. And then while we got 30 seconds, I'm going to take another hit of this asthma medicine that I keep dropping on the floor. And then you'll see that it'll automatically switch over. Why, thank you, Lisa. All right, now it's going to switch over in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands off. Boing. Da, 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 da. It's, oh, I forgot to put the words. Ha. Wow, you should have the words there. Boom. You know what I'm saying? So that's how you would do it. And then, or maybe on the answer scene, you don't need the time there. And then maybe I would embiggen this just a small little bit, like such. And then that would be how you could do that. So if you're hitting that and then hitting that, Paul, you live in San Francisco, so I don't even know what kind of inhaler you got, homie. But if you can mail me one in a discreet package, I appreciate it. Hawaii hasn't passed those laws yet. So that you'll see there that to go to the next scene is kind of amazing, right? Now, let's build up something real quick for my homie Jeff. I want to show you guys something else. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to make a new scene. And then in this particular scene, I'm going to add a camera again. In this particular scene, I'm going to go to a small little circle. And I'm going to put the circle over here like such, right? And then now I want to go grab a quick little series of emojis. Let's see. Do I have one of them somewhere around here I can grab real quick? Because I just want to show you what I mean. I have so many things. So many things. I'll just use these. I'll use these backgrounds because it's just easy. All right. So in this particular scene, I'm going to just call it 1. And then I'm going to duplicate it, duplicate it, duplicate it. Now, watch this, Jeff. I'm going to press on the folder that has this clock in it. All right. So now I have a new automation. Put this right up here above the new one. I'm going to place it in there, place it in there, place it in there. Okay. I'm going to name this new 1. And then 2. Oh, that was dumb. And then 3. Okay. So now on this particular new 1 scene, I am going to drop in this image. Let's just say here's an image I took in Kyoto, right? I'm just don't feel like looking for images right now, so I'm just going to use these little background situations. What I should have done, let me do something real quick, make my job easier. I think this is also one of them. Yes, so I can delete that. Let's go back to here. Ecamm, you can always undo anything. Okay, so now let me duplicate this. 3. All right, now on the second one, I'm going to change the image to this. Turn that one off, and then go to the third one, change the image to this. Turn that one off. And then on the fourth one, change the image one more again. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Let's just switch to this. I have lots of backgrounds, people. Lots of backgrounds. Okay. As a matter of fact, let's get real cute with this last one. I take it back. Let's get even cuter with this last one. And let's use a subsequent movie film. Right? Because I might want to show, you know, me catching the Shinkansen or something. Now, if I go back to this automated thing, let me zoom in real quick. I'm going to press here, and I'm going to set these guys to change. My favorite number, people, you know what it is, every 8 seconds. Pay real careful attention. I can go to next scene, random scene, right? Or fixed interval, random time range, right? Up to me. And I could do cross dissolves, no transitions, flash swipe zooms. Don't use none of these. Anything lower than this line, don't touch it. It's corny. Okay, stop right here. All right, so anyway, I'm gonna leave this at every 8 seconds. Come back up to my top scene and press play. Okay, and you'll see there is a little bitty timer over here. See this guy is twirling around? Boom, it just switched. So let me back out so you guys can see, and then I'll put my hands over here. So I'm not touching. I'm being Jefferson Graham, and I'm talking to you about cool iPhone photos that I took. And of course, he wouldn't set them at 8 seconds, but he could be having a conversation with his guest about taking photos, right? So, I guess I had to put this guest person on every scene. I messed that up, but it automatically changed every scene, and then him and the guest could be talking every time, and it's just going to keep going to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. So you must don't know about me. Just like that. And you can just have your conversation, and you don't have to have your hands open, and the images would just be going by. Now, again, he probably wouldn't have it going this rapid, but if you do the type of show where you're going to be explaining something at length and you want to have some interaction in your screen, then it would be doomed. I don't know if I understand, but could I? Okay, so let me get to Lisa's question. To get out of this, all you have to do is pop out to a different scene, and then it won't do that no more. Remember, whenever you start it, though, you have to start it from the folder, not from one of the things inside the folder. So, Lisa, this is a common question. People always want to know, could I just record my show and play that recording as a live show? Yes. Should you do that? Absolutely not. It is, it's hard to explain, but it is considered bad form. As a matter of fact, most platforms, YouTube particularly, Facebook, they don't really care, but YouTube particularly, Twitch, I believe, also particularly, they heavily frown upon dead streams. And that is the terminology for me bringing my... Okay, if you're going to be in, that's fine. That's fine. You can pre-record your stuff and then put yourself in as a talking head and then let that run. Absolutely, you can do that. Just don't do dead streams. Don't make a video that you made already and play that as a live and then just sit back, or don't show up to the comments. If you show up in the comments and you're interacting with your audience, they'll let that slide. If you're going to be a fly on the wall, they'll let that slide. But yeah, don't record a video and then play it and call it I'm live when you're not really live. That will get you banned hardcore. Really, really hardcore. Hey, I just got an email from my boss that said that some guy sent the email to Katie, said I was nice. Thank you, Jeff. How much do I owe you? I'm just kidding. Katie's like, Doc is nice? This Jefferson guy must be off his rocker. Anyway, so yeah, Lisa, if you're gonna bubble yourself in like a little head, here, I'll show you what I mean by that. Let's say I come down here and I make another screen, and then why do I keep pressing duplicate? Come here, make a new scene, and then I'm gonna bring in an animated movie film, right? So this I would, as a matter of fact, I should show you both. If I were to bring in this thing of Ian,
Hello. Ian,
it's going to want to take over and be a
Ecamm
movie.
Live since it's...
I don't want to do that, right? It's going to want to take over and be a movie. I don't want that, right? So let me go back to blank. And then if I pick it up and drop it in the overlay, I'm going to get a warning. The warning is going to state, if you want to add this file as an animated overlay, it won't contain any audio, but I'll say yes. So now there's Ian, and he's a little movie, but you can't hear what Ian is talking about, right? So let me delete that. If I convert that movie to a WebM, like I did here using Shutter Encoder, and I drop it in here, then it should play. Oh, that's a whole different WebM, but it'll play, and it has the sound. It's recording this. Is you're looking, right? So if I wanted to do something like that,
Hello, Ian Nancy Gray here. I have been using...
and then pop myself on as a conscientious objector, and I'm like over here, and I have Ian talking.
Ecamm Live since it came out just about. I bought my first Mac. I love...
And then I would stop and say, so Ian's talking about buying his first Mac. I remember this because we had this conversation, and I was explaining to him why, even though he really wanted a MacBook Pro, he should get a Mac Mini. Because when it comes to streaming, desktops are way better than laptops, even if the laptop is quote unquote more powerful, because laptops don't manage heat as well. And when they overheat, they slow down, right? So if I'm doing something of that nature where I am playing this video and then talking about it, then you're completely fine. You can do that. Nobody will yell at you. And it's actually a good way to do videos. Or like I have an interview that I can't make live, so tomorrow, for instance, I am interviewing Jefferson on my channel, but for some reason we had to pre-tape that interview. I would make sure that I'm popping in every once in a while to add a little sauce. Okay. Now, less than that though, I want to know, why on God's earth are you afraid to go live? I just want to know. I just want to know, because I'm that guy. I'm a coach. I'm going to have to ask. Anyway, so let's get into some more stuff. Let's pop back up here to this browser situation. And I'm going to click here and select Ecamm Live and select sound levels, because I wanted you to notice, for me, all of my sound levels come through this Rodecaster Pro, right? If I were to open up this other window here, which is my sound files, I could play a button and that generates a sound. That sounds a little low because I have volume control over that sound here, right? So I can crank that up, press the S key, and then there's my sound effect. If I hit R,
DJ Doc Rock.
so we're basically the same, right? Basically the same. And I don't care. I'm old enough that I'm not going to get any new girlfriends, so I might as well just stay looking like this. Like, nobody cares. Nobody cares. People want to see you. Paul is 88 and shows, actually, I think you guys are the same age. and Paul shows up. Like, don't be scared. You just come easy. Come kick it with us. One of us will hold your hand and be your co-host for a little bit until you get your sea legs. But yeah, don't be scared. Nobody wants to talk to anybody in their 20s because they don't know what the they're talking about, because they have no experience. I think Glenda is probably like 82, and she's up in here, and Gretchen is around 80 as well. So you're good. You're in good company. Let's go back here. I wanted to show you that if you come again to the side, you can add, you can see I added a little T. If I press T, you get a little, right? So you get that shortcut key by adding it here where the hotkey goes. If I remove the hotkey, now I press T, nothing happens, right? So you can put that in there if you wish. This again is your individual control for your sounds, and you can add sound to a scene. So for instance, whenever I step over to another scene, like when I do my outro, it actually plays the Ecamm song. Thank you, DJ Right on Beat, who was here earlier, who made that song. That's because I've added it to the scene. So this is your sound levels window. Sound effects window allows you to play all myriad types of things. And so I have different control for my movie volume, my sound effects volume. System audio is if I want the sound to come from a browser or another application or something of that nature. And you see there's a button here to check on echo cancellation. Right now, that's not going to show up for me. Uh-oh, I didn't know Gangsta Grandma was here. Sorry, Gretch. Oh, Gretchen, make sure you come to the live tomorrow. You're going to love my conversation with Jefferson, us photographer types. But he's Team Sony. Yay. Anyway, Jefferson, Gretchen is Team Canon. I'm sorry, Gretchen. I love you. Anyway, so if you come in here, and again, you can add a sound file, super simple. It's a drag and drop type situation. So let me look. What did I download recently? I love to go to me personally. I get songs. Here we go. I get songs from Artlist, but here's an Artlist file. I'm just going to drag it into my list here, put it at the top. Right? You get a warning that tells you, please do not play copyrighted music because we just don't want you to get banned. Now, actually, what happens is Facebook mutes people's streams or deletes them, and then they say Ecamm did it. But no, it's because you were playing copyrighted music. So I can press this. I can turn it down so it's light. All right, so I'm going to keep this file. I'm going to show you how to build an intro or outro real quick. So let's come down to here.
Hello, Ian Nancy Gray here. I have been using Ecamm Live.
Completed IAG, and we're going to add a new widget. All right, before I add this widget, let me take you back to the browser page. Let's do this one. And no, let's do the first one. I changed my mind again. I can do that. It's my show. I'm going to go to Google Chrome. Let's go to the Camo page. And then I'm going to take you guys to this website. And we want to go to overlays.uno. Payal. Overlays.uno. Wow. Go to home. We're here. And I want to go to look for a countdown. COUNT. It's the final countdown. Let's see. Which one do I like? Let's see. We'll just use this one. All right. We're going to go to try this overlay. All right, I'm going to show you how simple this is. It's so very easy. So we're going to set this joint for 5 minutes. Actually, here's what I really do is I go to that sound file, and it says that it's 1 minute and 56 seconds. So I'm going to go pop, pop, pop. All right, now we know. Okay. So we're going to do play count in the count message, countdown in message. We're going to type this. Let's go. Put in a couple of those. Throw the shaka. Bam. All right. So I'm adding all of this to this thing. Now, all I have to do is copy the URL. Copied, right? I'm going to come to my scene here, and I'm going to click on this widget. I'm going to paste in the URL. I'm going to type 1920 by 1080 because, it's full screen. High resolution mode, keep running. I could just hit fill time frame, but in this particular case, I'm not because I want you guys to, be able to see. I will, however, bless this up, put this camera back on top, right? And then I'm going to click on this camera switcher. I'm going to select my camera C, which although it's the exact same camera, I'm going to make it different. I'm going to click on black and white, right? And then I'm going to blur this up just a little bit so you can see that I'm here doing stuff, right, while the music is playing, but you don't really know. You know what I'm saying? Now, back over here on the old browser, I can start this timer if I just hit play. And so it's doing the countdown. When we drip to where we came from, Command Backspace takes you to the last scene inside of Ecamm. It's counting down, right? Okay, so I'm going to pause this, reset this, and then I'm going to take this music file, drag it onto this scene, right? That's part of the scene. I'm going to say stop when the scene ends, okay? So now that I'm back here, wait, I'm just put these on back to back. Okay. All right. So as soon as I go to that scene, I'm going to press play over here on the button. Oh my God. That did not work. Reset that. I need to come to this scene. I'm going to turn this down a little bit so you guys can hear. I'm going to do one other thing. I wanted to show this to Jeff, and I have 2 minutes to cover it. If I hit preview mode, that countdown continues. I can go to this next scene, add a whole brand new scene. This is still running. This is what the world would be seeing. In this particular setup, I'm going to add my camera a little bit like this, line it up. I'm going to add a text. Put my background back. All right, so I'm doing all these changes. Again, this is what the public sees. If I come out of live demo mode, you guys are not going to see me editing any of this stuff. So let me dip out for a second. The sound might be doubling for you, but that's because I also have the sound coming through my Rodecaster, so I can mute that so you don't have that, but then I can't really hear it. But anyway, so all you guys see is this countdown, and you don't see me doing this edit stuff in the background. Okay, so I'm coming back to live demo mode so you can see. And now watch, I'm gonna go back to this scene over here. I still got 20 seconds left, and I can go back to live mode. I'm gonna leave those published changes so you don't even know if I didn't show you that I created a whole brand new scene while this was running. And then it's going to my hands are over here, you can kind of see. It's going to just jump over to the new scene, and then we're good to go. I hit the let's go. I can go ahead and pop my new scene, and y'all didn't even see me build that scene because I was rocking preview mode, right? So again, if I go to preview mode, this is what the world sees in this program window, right? But I could take this whole thing and move it over here like such, right? And then, make this smaller like such. And then you don't see anything until I press publish. When I press publish, then the whole world can see. So if there comes a situation, and this happened to my boy Jeff yesterday, where something had happened and need to make an adjustment, you could go to preview mode. Nobody can see you making those adjustments. Now you see because I came out of preview mode, right? Now these two windows are doing the exact same thing, right? I can't stand this window. I normally hide it, but it's helpful when you're in preview mode. But you can see right now it's the same thing. They're live. If I go to preview mode, if I move this down there in the bottom, it says live in red. This is what the people are seeing live, right? This up here is in preview mode. Preview. So I can even change entire scenes and y'all don't know nothing until I hit publish. All right, there you go. Now, let me hide this again because I cannot stand this preview mode stuff. I never do it. I just make my fixes live and in public because I'm not that I'm not that serious, right? Like, I want my people to feel like live happens. If something goes goofy in live, I tend to fix it right there in public because I'm trying to show them the dopeness that is Ecamm. I'm never hiding that stuff from my audience, and my audience don't care. And my audience are primarily Ecamm users. So you do what you do, however you want to do. But yeah, boom. Oh, you don't have a Mac. No, Lisa, come on. No, we need you on our side. You got to be one of us. What if Lisa was one of us? All right, let me show you some more stuff before I start coughing again. Boom. All right, let me click this real quick. I'm going to drop down the Ecamm Demo and show the camera switcher. Camera switcher. All right, so these are all the sources on my computer, right? I got my Apollo 13. That's this iPhone right here, right? So if I click it, it will show like my screen on my iPhone. I have my cam link, which is off because it's connected to this ZV-1, which I'm taking maybe to Las Vegas, right? I have my Camlink 4K, which is my master camera. I have my camo camera because for some reason, just because Eden came, the damn app doesn't want to talk to my phone. It only wants to talk to this phone, but the device is currently inactive. Oh, I know. I don't even have to call tech support for that. Open Camo Studio and select the actual device, you ding dong. Dun, 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 dun. There it is. Why are you zoomed in? Papi culo. I don't want to be zoomed in. There you go. So now you can see my Camo app is there, right? Let me move this out the way. And then you'll see here's this phone, and then there's my overhead, my Insta360, rotated twice, right? And then so these are all of my sources. But if I disconnect something and plug it back in, it can generate a problem. So I use the AB side of the camera switcher. So camera A is my Camlink 4K. Camera C is also my Camlink 4K, but I can actually do stuff to this. By pressing the Harry Potter wand, I could come up here and set that to black and white. I can set the zoom and pan and give you the big head shot. Oh my God, right? I can mirror it. I can mess with all kind of effects, hit that witness protection program, and you'll know that there is a difference between camera B and camera A, although C and A, although they're the exact same camera. So if I drop C over here and put A over here, you know what I'm saying? So you can do cool things. If you have a show where you got two people sitting at a table, but you only got one camera, because, hey, I get broke life. I've been there, right? You can be broke life and still do it because you just set yourself up in two different regions. So if I want to show my overhead on camera B, notice it's not coming in with the proper rotate. I hit the rotate twice, apply to all scenes, and so now whenever I add camera B, it's always going to be the overhead with the right quickness. There's my phone right there, Rodecaster Pro. I swear my phone is zoomed in camera, but that's okay. So let me go to Camo and switch lens to selfie mode, and then set the resolution to 16:9 full HD, 30 frames a second. I don't want any spotlight on, and device presets, overlays. Oh, I had the zoom on. There you go. All right, so now even if I were to pick up this and throw it in there, that's Camo. Again, I need a hard reset button, Eden, because I was in here playing with stuff. And so then there it is. There's no preset. I had a preset turned on. That's why. So anyway, so there's your Camo app pulling your phone like directly, right? So you can swap cameras just by dragging them into position, right? So even if I wanted my guest to be there, you know what I'm saying? So you can get down with the get down. Wow. You know what I'm saying? And I do want to show you, if I were to flip this off a selfie camera and put it onto the regular plain Jane Holyfield like lens, I can tell you that this camera is dope if I would just fix the settings. Because I have this stupid spotlight thing on, which is not me. I mean, I need that. Don't need any filters. You can set your exposure. You can set white balance. You can set everything. So you can get in here. Yeah, it's just the emergency reset button, right, Eden? That would make all of this just dope. You can set how the focus works. You can set how many frames per second is pulling. Like, this app is dope. So if you don't have an expensive camera, you don't need one, you know, you could just come in here and get yourself your iPhone, connect your iPhone to Camo, and then go to town. I love the fact that they have white balance in here because I like to, you know, adjust my temperature a little bit, warm it up. I like the fact that I can bring that exposure to a more, you know, logical view type of situation, adjust contrast. You can go to town in here, right? So cool stuff, cool beans. Just know that you can do anything you want with your whole Ecamm, right? It's all in there. Lisa, I would wait. Hello, Ecamm fam entrepreneurs. Are you tired of trying to find Let me come back over here. I will tell you that majority of what I said today does apply to pretty much any live streaming situation. So it's not, you know, completely specific to Ecamm. But yeah, if you got Ecamm, you have a whole bunch of people that are down to help you. That's what makes it cool, right? That's what absolutely makes it cool. So I just want to say that. Not that I'm going to turn this into a camo situation, but what I'm finding that's super weird, Eden, is everything that displays on here is displaying really heavily zoomed in on the actual phone, which is weird. Which is super weird. I've never seen that before. Anyway, let me use a different phone. Maybe it's just this phone is stupid. Anyway, so yeah, it is definitely a lot more flexible. We set ourselves up to make it so that you don't have to know how to be like me. I've been live streaming since like 2006, but you don't have to know any of this stuff. Pretty much anyone can jump in and start right away and then kind of run with it. It's a very easy app to use. Oh, there you go. It's because you have portrait resolution selected. Well, shucky darn. See, this is why you have Eden come to your show, because then she knows stuff about camo. I just want you guys to know that what's really cool is you can basically do any of this and, you know, sort of help yourself out. Like you don't have to, what's the word I'm looking for? You don't have to be an expert at this. You know what I'm saying? You could just get in where you fit in and call it a day. And Eden was right. Okay, I'm never going to say that ever again, but Eden was right. That's all. I fixed it. It's not that hard. It's super simple. All right, that was it. They got stabilization now. Man, I'm tweaking out over here. It's been a minute since I messed with this, so yeah. Let me stop messing with this. And let's get back. So we covered camera switcher and effects. The last thing I want to show you guys is about this comments and reaction window. So I want you to see this carefully. Why are we so particular about the Q colon? Because I can come here in this box and I can do Q colon and I can find people's questions, right? So much easier. So he said, I use my laptop to go live. How do I remove my laptop camera as an option completely? Man, it's so funny you asked this question. I had this conversation with my man Jefferson yesterday. Let me show you how to do that. Anyway, so I'll come back to this in a second. So I had missed that question, which is unheard of for me because diehard Raiders fan, I normally wouldn't miss that, but I missed it. So this is why it's important that you do that. So what I could do if I was live and I didn't want to talk about it right now is I hit the star, right? And then if I come back over here to my comments, scroll down to the bottom here, I can, star pause comment, right? And then I can go to Eden's comment, right? And so now if I come back and I click on favorites, you'll see right here in the center, there's favorites. I can come back to this question and then it'll pop up on the screen. Let me move this down a little bit and you'll be like, all right, cool. So I open up preferences, command, comma, and then right here in the video tab, let's jump back over here to the old Ecamm and then press this and go to preferences just so you can see right there in the middle, disable the built-in camera. That's it. I don't have a Mac Studio. There's no built-in camera, but you want to do that. And I want to say that to me, that is mandatory. It is mandatory that you disable the built-in camera because it will inevitably at some point in time bite you in the tuchus. It just is what it is. It catches everybody off guard and it's always at the most worst inopportune time. So yesterday I was talking to my man Jefferson and I was telling him, I was like, listen, you have to put that sucker on no matter what. It is absolutely mandatory because it will bite you in the okole, as we say in these streets. So yes, disable built-in camera. That is an important one. The other one that gets people, since we're in here, is play the app sounds. I'm going to temporarily turn this on like a dummy. And when you guys send comments or reactions, it'll make a little... Wait, why you do that? Oh, I know why, because I closed the window. So if I was here and I send a comment, when the comment comes in, it will toink and it will drive you batty. So I tend to turn those off. Now, you also see there's a show animation reactions. That's for this area right here. And it tells me that 36 individuals watching this stream and 12 people press the like button. Talk about rude. Absolutely rude. So yeah, there's that option as well. So you heard the little taduguk. That's because somebody commented, right? And in a second, this will pop through. So every time there's a comment, it makes the little taduguk. And so that gets old real quick. So you want to go into this window and turn it off. So if I go back to all my comments, you'll see, oh yeah, if comments aren't moving, check to make sure you're not stuck on favorite. So once I'm, show Eden's comment, right? I can turn off the star, it'll go away. I can show Pharaoh's comment, right? And then I can turn off the star, boom. And then I can show Paul's comment, turn off the star. And you may be like, hey, my comment's not working. I've totally had people come in and say, Doc, my comment's not working. And that's because they're not on this side. You got to remember to switch it back, right? So, boom, there you go. Oh, you saw that coming from a mile away? My bad. Yo, it's funny, but yeah, make sure you turn off the app sounds. That gets old real quick, right? That gets super, super old. Appreciate you. If you have any questions or you download the demo or seriously, there's a lot of Mac minis out there. You only need 8 gig if you don't do a fancy show. If you do a fancy show, a 16 gig will be better. But you can get an 8 gig Mac mini for like $500 nowadays. So, boom, you'll be good to go. Boom. Clearly. I almost was up at 5 when Katie started, and I was like, I'm going back to sleep. I'm not going to watch that. I know exactly what she's going to say. I talk to her every day. So that was crazy. I was literally up that early. Okay, family, that is the whole Ecamm demo. We run through this legit every freaking Friday. So if you come in to play with the app, like we got a lot of new folks out here today. I appreciate y'all coming through. Literally do this every Friday, 150 some weeks solid. If you write down the questions that you have, and again, stuff that I told you today, if you found a tip, man, don't hold it in your melon. Go do it. Even if you're not live, go do it. You can go live to a, what the word I'm looking for? You can go live to a private stream. Jesus, criminy, right? Let me show you this real quick before we bounce. Click on destinations. In here, all my destinations, right? I can click new destination. I want to go to new YouTube channel. Woo, it's going to go log me into YouTube. That's what that's trying to do. I'm not going to log in right now. But you can set it up to be a private situation, right? If you go to edit one of these, like you can easily say, I want to go unlisted, private, nobody can see me. Go to my own profile on Facebook where nobody can see me. You can do like streams where no one can see you. And then test this stuff out. Some things you can't see unless you're actually live, right? Some things you can just test them out as recordings and see how it flows. But don't learn this and be like, I'm going to remember the next time I'm at the computer, because you're not. You're just not. Especially all of you guys that grew up looking at black and white TV. So if you remember, dun, 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 you probably need to practice these things, and don't assume you're going to remember it when it's time to remember it. Green Acres is the place to be. Fun living is the life for me. If you're old enough to remember that TV show, then you need to do these things exactly when you learn them, Paul. Woo. Dragon, appreciate you, bruh. Yes. Oh, you're going to do it with Luis next week. Yay. So next week, I'm not going to be here. I'm going to be in Las Vegas. Wish me luck. I don't gamble, so you don't got to wish me anything. Oh my goodness. This lady said Roger Ramjet. Come on, Gretchen. You know what that makes me think of, Gretchen? Here, this one. Before we go, let me do this for Gretchen. Because, okay, I see Paul, I see Luis, I see Dragon, I see Glenda, I see Gretchen, I see Lisa, I see Pharaohs, Go Raiders, I see Dan, I see Eden. Hi, Eden. You guys remember that? If you remember that, you're really old. You're super old. Cardboard fireboxes, fire engines and everything. The spa at the Mandalay Bay. Okay, I'm going to have to check that out. I need a spa. See, Paul, now you just admitted to being old. Anyway, gang, I appreciate you guys. I'll see you next week. Oh, Miss Nancy. Oh, my God. This is so good. You guys are awesome. Please remember, practice. And you can always practice. You can go in the Facebook group and practice. People can help you out. And don't forget, sign up for the Discord. Go and hang out in there. We're always doing stuff in there. It's a good place to ask questions that might require a little bit more knowledge of that. And yeah, going to miss you guys. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. So you're going to have Paul and Luigi show next Friday. And then you're going to have Daniel. Daniel is going to be me on the 21st, and I'll be back on the 28th. So you guys do that, and let me know what number I should just play one round of roulette, and then we're good to go. Appreciate you. You guys rock. Love you too, E-Boogie. Thanks for being here, and thanks for helping me figure out what the hang was going wrong. I'll see you guys next week. Mahalo.
Coming straight out of Ecamm. This is a town that the Ecamm found. Ecamm fam is the name of the sham. This is a town that the Ecamm found. Ecamm fam is the name of the sham. This is a town that the Ecamm found. This is a town that the Ecamm found. This is a town that the Ecamm found. Ecamm fam is the name of the sham.